Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I sit down with the new YSU men's basketball coach, Jared Calhoun. But first, my mom and I prepare a delicious cookie recipe from my grandma's recipe book. I am really excited about today's cooking segment. My mom, Jelaine, is going to join us, and we are going way back with a throwback recipe. Now, my Aunt Barb, my mom's sister, was going through a book of Grandma's items, and she came across this book, Frances Lee Barton, and it is her cookbook, Cooking School of the Air. And I never heard of this lady. Did you?
I'm a little bit older than you, but I haven't heard about it either.
So in doing my research, I found out that she was General Foods competition.
Oh, she was the Betty Crocker. Oh.
Who was General Mills.
That's right.
And in going through this book, you could subscribe for like $25 a year. And they would send you the ring-bound thing, and they would send you the recipes and tips from each and every episode. And when you go through this, I mean, she was like the face of General Foods.
Well, look at, there's the cornflakes.
Yeah. And you see post cornflakes. You see Jell-O is huge.
Oh, yes.
They must have just come out with Jell-O because there's a bazillion Jell-O recipes. And Maxwell House Coffee. All these brands that you've heard of. But, of course, the containers are much older. You got to check this out. And her tips are so funny. You gotta think this is before TV.
That's right.
And
she had to be very descriptive when she was on the air.
And I mean, these poor women cooked their butts off.
Yeah.
But there's wedding cakes in here, a lot of baking, and some of the recipes did not appeal to me at all. But a lot of them really do sound good, and she is a huge fan of sifting.
Oh.
Sifting the flour and then sifting it again. Some of the recipes call for a 4-sift. A 4-sift.
I never heard of that.
I know. Well, it's crazy. But I absolutely am enjoying this book, and I am going to be doing more recipes from it because it's hilarious.
Well, Grandma was a great baker and a cook. Some people just do one or the other. She did both very, very well. I don't think the genes came down to me as much as I think you're better at it than I am.
Well, sometimes it skips a generation.
That's right.
But you do have your specialties.
Yes.
You do.
Yes. Yes.
But this is going to be a lot of fun. I found a recipe that I thought, and I made it a few times, and it really is delicious. It's easy. It makes like 7 dozen cookies, but you're going to see that you don't have to make them all at once. And they're called Vanilla Nut Icebox Cookies. And courtesy of Frances Lee Barton. For this recipe, you'll need 4 cups of sifted flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup of butter or shortening, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup firmly packed brown sugar, 2 eggs well beaten, 2 cups of chopped nut meats, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I'm not a big flour sifter, but what the recipe calls for is 4 cups of sifted flour, and then once you add the baking powder and the salt, you sift it again.
Oh.
So what you're going to see is
it
that in sifting it, you really extend it. So there'll be extra, but I haven't sifted it yet. So let's start, and we use a piece of paper to put it on, and that way we put it back in. And I'm telling you, I mean, she was very, very, there we go. So I will start sifting it, and you know what, Ma, you could just start dumping this right in here. I love this thing. It is so, there you go, very good. Okay, very good, there we go, good job. Now, you don't just slam it in. What you're supposed to do is spoon in your sifted flour.
That's right.
Shake it up, and then level it off. And then, so this is 1 cup, all right? Now we go, and we're very tender with the
That's right. You
flour.
don't want to, you never pack it. That's the word.
Yes, and then you level it off again. So there you go. There's our 4 cups. Now we'll save this and put this back in the bag, and then we're going to re-sift it because we're going to add the baking powder and we're going to add the salt. So now we'll mix this in a little bit, all of the baking powder, and boy, she was really pushing the calumet. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. But boy, they talked about that double action. And we're gonna dump this back in again and re-sift it one more time before it's ready to use for the recipe. And now we're gonna cream the butter all by itself until it's nice and fluffy. We'll be right back and we'll find out how these cookies turn out. Here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery with owner Phil, Rita, and Chef Tank. Been on field trips. I know from where you get your food, and always, I'm never disappointed by your menu. What do we have coming up?
Okay, that's our Magic Monster Burger. It has 2 8-ounce patties and some Walnut Hill Farms pork belly on it with a little bit of pecan jam. We have our new pepperoni pretzel roll with house-made marinara. We have our award-winning bacon jam burger with premium pastured meat on it, and we also have our pot roast and of course our house pretzels.
It all sounds so amazing.
Casey, I am so proud of our kitchen team for the pride they take in making everything from scratch and supporting local farmers. It's what makes Magic Tree live up to who we are, and that's a place where people can eat, drink, and celebrate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We do catering 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything you want. So if you want us to do one thing or everything for your holiday party, we can do it. We can do it with Gourmet to Go. We can do it with our off-premise catering. We can do anything that you want. We have lots of great restaurants in our community, but I would like to be the one that impresses your family and friends this year during the holidays. I want everybody coming through that door to leave here with a good experience.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadies Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
At the Vein Center and Med Spa, we realize the serious health issue varicose veins can cause. We know it's more than just cosmetic. We provide you with caring and personal service in a clean and friendly atmosphere. All vein procedures are done in our office during convenient and flexible hours by a medical doctor with over 20 years experience. The Vein Center and Med Spa also offers fillers and neurotoxin procedures, hydrofacials, and laser hair removal services. Call the Vein Center and Med Spa for a free consultation. See why our patients leave satisfied. Now accepting Anthem and Highmark.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency for what matters most. Home, auto, life, boat, RV, umbrella. We'll find the right product at the right price for your family. Mayflower Woolham with 3 locations to serve you. All right, so see, the butter is nice and creamy. And now we gradually add the sugars to this recipe. So it will be the brown and the white. We'll start with the white since it's a little more pliable to begin with. And we'll continue to do this until it's well combined. Okay, so now all the sugars and the butter are creamed together thoroughly. Now what we're gonna do, the beaten eggs.
Before the flour.
Yes.
That's
well,
different.
flowers usually last.
Yeah.
But we're also adding the nuts first. So then the nuts go in, and I love the way it said 2 cups of chopped nut meats.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't sure what the nut was. But I had always have walnuts in my freezer. So I used walnut meats. And then 1 tablespoon.
And don't forget, those ladies didn't go to Ruli's to buy nuts. They shelled them first, and then they baked with them.
Exactly. Now this is blended really nice. I mean, and this is a lot of cookie dough. So get ready. As mommy, we are going to really feel the puff as we add this. And again, our double sifted flour with the dry ingredients is gonna come flying out. So maybe we'll slow it down before each edition.
Yes.
Okay, so now, here's our dough. Now look at all this cookie dough. This is a lot to work with. What we're gonna do, according to Frances Lee Barton, is you put it into a ball. She said cut it in 2. And this is a really nice device. I don't even know where I got this.
I gave it to you.
Oh, did you?
I bought it. Remember there used to be that chef on TV?
Yeah. I love this thing because when they talked about 1 inch, 1/2 inch, the inches are on there, so because I can't just eyeball that stuff. So I'm gonna cut this in half. All right, so now we have 2 even pieces of dough. But I find it even easier to work with twice. So go like this. And this has to refrigerate overnight.
Oh.
To really firm up. And Frances Lee suggests that you get your wax paper.
Oh, every house.
Okay, and you go like this. So I have it out. And then these cookies should be in a cylinder about 1.25 inches. And what I liked about this is I really like a small cookie.
I do too.
I like little teeny cookies. That way I can eat twice as many. And
they're not overly
you can
sweet.
make these as small as you want. Now look, see this is a little under 1 inch. Okay, so I'm gonna do with this size. Frances Lee recommended, I believe, 1.25 inches.
Okay.
Okay, so now I just roll it.
There you go.
But you know what I did last night? And the other night when I made these? I went and I folded it so I don't even have to worry about anything, getting in.
Tucking in the ends.
And I tucked in the ends like, you're wrapping a present.
Yes.
And then I just went like that. There you go. And you just put these in the refrigerator.
Let me put it in.
Overnight until they're really super firm.
Voila.
And then voila. I do have some ready to go. So let me finish the next 3 tubes and we'll bake these cookies and see what we just made. Preheat the oven to 425, which we've already done. These cookies only take 5 minutes to bake. There we go. I'm gonna throw these in the oven 5 minutes and you're gonna see how delicious these are.
They're delicious.
Let them
I love it.
cool on the pan before you remove them, and then let them go further, and they really have a nice snap to them. They're delicious.
It has a sort of a shortbread feeling to it.
Really
Very good.
Cheers.
Cheers to us, none better.
Frances Lee Barton. This was really nice. I'll tell you, Aunt Barb, when she gave me this, just knowing that this was Grandma's.
Yeah.
And
Here's
we
Stella.
have Grandma's recipe book with all the different things that she loved and that she made. And I just love having her with us.
Yes.
Miss her. She's been gone since I was in college, so.
Yeah, she would have been 100.
Wow. So.
Same age as Kennedy.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Aw. Grandma Roscoe. I miss her.
No, I do.
So that's nice. These recipes, brings family together. And I hope you find some old recipes that your grandma or great grandma made. And, and bring them into the room, bring the spirit back to the different holidays. So this is a great recipe, and it makes a ton of cookies. And just go to my website, caseynewyear.com, and look for the vanilla nut icebox cookies, courtesy of Frances Lee Barton. And I wish she was still on the radio. I'd give the old gal a listen to. And wine goes with everything. So
Here's to Frances. Here's to Stella.
And Stella. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Barnard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in an automobile accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may encounter. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court. And remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
We'd just like to wish all our friends and relatives a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I would like to wish everybody a very happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year.
And I want to wish everyone in Christine Valley a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
From the Reese family and everyone at the Briarfield Healthcare Centers, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency for your business. We work with several companies so you have choices for your insurance needs. Commercial properties, professional liability, bonding, and general. Trust Mayflower Woolham.
The Komara family is thankful to be a part of many great organizations within our local community.
Organizations like Making Kids Count.
We rely on donations from local residents and businesses to make our mission possible in the Valley. Komara Jewelers has been a sponsor of us for several different events that we've had. We're so thankful for the community that we live in and could not do this without them.
Join Komara Jewelers in supporting Making Kids Count and make a difference today.
4 for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadies Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. The perfect gift. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, the best food in the Valley. For every $50 you spend on gift cards, you get a free $10 bonus card. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, Route 224 in Boardman, and their new location on Route 46 in Howland. Basketball season is about to begin. And YSU has a new head basketball coach, Jared Calhoun. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And what's your impressions now that you've settled in here at YSU? Are you happy?
What? Yeah, you know what? It's been really good. It's been a lot of fun to get out in this community. We've been busy the last 5 or 6 months. The minute we got hired, we've been on the floor running. But it's been really good to meet so many great people in the city, to build our team, to get acclimated with the city of Youngstown. It's been a great experience.
Well, you came from Fairmont State. you know, what was the attraction for, I know you're originally from Cleveland, so you're very familiar with Northeast Ohio, but, you know, why did you really set your sights here?
You know, a lot of people have asked that. I think it starts at the top. You know, anytime as a young coach you're able to come into a situation with great leadership. I had a great job. You know, I could have probably signed a 10-year contract. We were really, really happy in Fairmont. But, you know, President Jim Tressel, to me, was a game changer. He was a guy that, he was an icon to me, you know, growing up in Ohio, being a Buckeye fan. He's a guy that I always have admired since I was young. So I started doing my research on Youngstown State, saw the direction, saw all the different changes that were taking place. And then when I had a chance to get on the phone with Ron Stroll, our athletic director, and hear his vision, you know, I just felt like this could be home for us.
I mean, recruiting must be a lot of work. You know, you've got to look, how far does that net go that you throw out to get those students?
I always tell our staff, if we're not recruiting daily, it's kind of like shaving. If for a guy, if you don't shave, you're going to say, wow, coach, you look really sloppy, right?
Yeah.
You don't look really good today. So recruiting is the same thing. If we don't recruit daily, we're going to get sloppy. And what I mean by that is we're not going to get the players that we want to get in our program. We have a very specific style of play. We know how we play. We have to go find those guys. And recruiting can be tricky. You know, you can recruit a young man for 2-3 years, build that relationship with them and not get them.
So are you just watching high school tapes and reading the paper? And I mean, how do you become aware of all, there's a lot of high school basketball players out there.
There is. What I try to do is we try to build a map of the state of Ohio. There's certain areas that you know you have relationships with those coaches. Right here in Youngstown, we've got to protect our territory. It's got to extend to Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. I think as you see us get into this thing, our roster will have a lot of Ohio kids because I think Youngstown State's a school in Ohio that's on the rise.
Yes.
If you look at our enrollment, you look at each year, the GPA, the average GPA of coming into YSU has grown every year. You look at our honors program, you look at our business program, our engineering. The reason I like YSU, this is a college town. We are the city's team. You know, the Penguins are everywhere in this community, whether it's Boardman, whether it's Canfield. I think the entire community, surrounding communities, really rally around Youngstown State.
And you know, you were saying that you look for players with, you know, the specific style. And what is your style of play? You know, how are you going to approach basketball, coach?
Well,
let's talk.
Yeah, you're going to see our style here shortly because you're coming down to practice. I would describe our style as very frantic, very aggressive, very fast, tempo. We play music at practice. We do some things that most coaches don't do. I want our guys, number one, they got to have fun. You know, if they don't have fun at practice, I'm not going to get maximum effort out of them.
Yeah.
So we want to have fun. We want to have energy. We want to have that togetherness. We want to shoot a lot of threes. We want the ball to go in the basket. Also, with fun, you've got to have a level of grit. So we talk about every day about having that toughness, that passion.
Yeah.
Let's reflect our city. I think of Youngstown. I think blue collar.
Yes.
I think hardworking. I think of great people. So we want our fans to say, wow, this team really reflects our entire city. I want to go see those guys. I want to be proud of that team. And I think you've seen that with Coach Pelini. Their teams play really, really tough. His teams are very prepared. You know, he had 2 weeks to prepare for South Dakota. You know, I'm going to put my money on Bo Pelini and his staff because those guys have a sense of toughness. And, you know, when I got to those practices to watch football here and there, I'll pop my head in. That's what you see.
In your formative years, high school, you played for Villa Angela, St. Joe's. And you got to play against LeBron James when he was at Akron St. V, right?
Yeah. You know,
what was that like?
Well, he was a freshman. I was a senior. We were 1 and 2 in the state. It was at the Canton Fieldhouse, sold out crowd. And it was my last high school game ever. So it's one of those games you'll never forget. We lost the game. Whoever won that game was probably going to go on to win the state championship. So it's not too bad to say your final game was lost to probably the greatest basketball player or one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But a guy in that team is one of my best friends. His name's Maverick Carter.
Yes, yeah.
And Maverick does a lot of LeBron's marketing things, and you know, he's part of the LRMR. So he teases me. I don't tease him, but he teases me a lot that, you know, he ended my high school career. But they were a great team. They went on and were undefeated, and we had a good run. But yeah, it was pretty neat to say we played against those guys.
So in the 6 months you've been here, there's been a lot of growth, and you're doing a lot of upgrades for the program?
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we wanted to make a big push is get more community involvement. So we've done a lot of different activities that's really been surrounded by the help of great people at Youngstown. So President Tressel and I sat down, we had a meeting, and he said, you know, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the goals? And he actually came up with the name. You know, he said, let's call it the 6-Man Club. And so all the funds that we raise through the 6-Man Club go back to the program, whether it's helping feed the guys, whether it's help clothing our guys, getting them extra sweatsuit. You know, we had to do some office upgrades. Hallways are going to be redone. And what it does is it goes back to recruiting. You know, as you talked earlier.
The wow factor.
Everybody wants to go to be entertained. You know, and I think basketball is a very entertaining sport. It's a team sport. One guy is not going to win the game. It's all 5 guys on the court working together for a common goal. I just love the game.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.